Okay. Cool. If you read the description as you were joining in, we are going to work on your upper back, a little bit of shoulders. And in order to do that, like yesterday, we're going to be needing a blanket or a couple of towels. Can also be done if you have one of those really long foam rollers. So the big ass ones, the ones that are like wider than your body, 2.5, 3 feet long. You can put that along the length of your spine. If you don't have one of those, it's okay. You can grab a blanket, something nice and thick. This is a knitted blanket that's homemade, so it's pretty thick. If you have a horse blanket, something along that sort, or 2 towels. Stack them on top of one another and then roll them up. But you want to get at least a 6-inch or so thick roll, but nice and tight. So we'll need that. It's basically the only prop that we'll need. Your mat. That's it. We got a few minutes before we do start. So get yourself set up. Keep your roll close at hand if you're already here and you're wanting to go ahead and get started. We're going to be on your backs. So go ahead and take yourself there. But again, keep your roll close at hand. Look at that. Told you 80% chance. It was in the first 5 minutes of class. He's here. Skeeps, everybody. Yeah. Keep your roll close at hand so you can grab it easily. We'll be on your backs here in just a moment. Approximately 3-ish minutes or so. 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes. Talk amongst yourselves. ladies, it is the time. So welcome in if you're just now joining. My name is Jeremy. This is going to be a flow class with the intention of releasing a bit of your upper back, some shoulders as well. In order to do that, we're going to use a tool today, which is going to be your block. I keep saying that. It's not your blocks, it's your blanket or your towels. Thick blanket that you can roll up. Again, this is about 6 inches around or so. You want something a little thicker. If it's too thin, you're not going to really feel anything. There won't be much of a benefit. If you have towels and no blanket, take 2 towels. Roll them up so it's super thick. Other option is if you have a really long foam roller. So one that's like longer than your arms, like 2.5, 3 feet long. You can use that on your spine as well. So we're going to take this, you turn where you can see to start. You're going to take this right towards the base of your spine and then lower your back all the way onto it. Comes right up towards your neck, and then the back of your head can lay off the edge of it. So find that in a comfortable way. And we'll take this T position for just a few rounds of breath. Let me sit back up and reassess. But that will be the shape. If that roll that you made is not adequate for that, adjust it. Take the time that you need. Again, we're going to be here for a little bit, so there's no necessary rush. I am going to find my water, actually, so take your time. Take your time. All right. So you've got yourself on the ground, I would hope. You got your bolster in between your shoulders. Arms out to a T, or maybe if it feels better, you can bring them a little closer toward your side, more to diagonal. The higher you bring up your arms, and the more tightness that you're going to start to lead into, and that can block off blood flow. That you can start to find that tingling sensation in your fingers and your extremities. If you're feeling that, take your arms lower. There's not as extreme of an angle. And for 5 rounds of breath, we're going to take what's called Kumbhaka Pranayama, which is basically box breathing. So if you've done therapy, you've done self-help, or maybe if you're like a Navy SEAL, you've probably done some form of box breathing or Kumbhaka Pranayama. Basically, it's 4 quadrants of breathing. You have your inhale. You have a moment at the top to hold your breath, a gentle hover. You have your exhale all the way out, and then you hold it at the bottom for another round. And just a gentle moment of grace, and then keep that going. So it's a breath in, gentle hover, find some space. Exhale, hold at the bottom. And then repeat, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Keep it going like that, your own breath pace. Seal your lips if you haven't already, and make this Ujjayi Kumbhaka Pranayama. In and out through your nose, but that same focus on those 4 quadrants of your breath. The inhale, the exhale, and those times in between, at the top and at the bottom. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. See how your shoulders react to that. Do they pull when you rise your chest to breathe in? And you still simply observe. All right. Keep your gaze up towards the ceiling. Protect your neck. Just bring your arms finally out to that full T. We're going to start to add some movement. So your arms, wrists in line with your shoulders. And then for a moment, squeeze your shoulders onto your roll, onto your foam roll if you have it, as if you're trying to pinch it, trying to pick it up with the strength of your shoulders. So keep that squeeze. Lift your arms off the ground, and then bring them up together slow, palms to touch. They may not touch, but keep that squeeze of your shoulders. On your inhale, open back up, slow and controlled. Hold at the bottom, find that squeeze. And then exhale, back up, squeeze your arms together, keep squeezing your shoulders together. And then start that breath to movement. Your focus on Kumbhaka breath and the squeeze of your shoulders. You're pinching your blanket or your roll so it doesn't go anywhere. Get that 4 more times. And 2 more, your slowest round yet, completely focused. Inhale, open your arms out wide and let them touch the ground. Once again, bring them closer towards your hips. Lessen the extremity of the angle. And then gently rock just left and right. Maybe wiggle your neck side to side. Right from here, we're going to take it a little bit different. So bring your elbows out in line with your shoulders, but arms out to a T. So bend your arms. Now lift your elbows off the ground. They're going to stay floating. Now in your peripheral vision, try to line up your wrist and your elbows on the same line. So elbows in line with your shoulders, then line your wrist up with your elbow. Without having to turn your neck too far again, try to use your peripheral vision. When you keep this height, take a breath in, reach up. On your exhale, pull your elbows down by your side. Keep your wrist in line with your elbows, elbows in line with the height of your shoulders. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, pull down. Keep that going, breath to movement. It's going to be natural for your elbows to lift and to fall. Your focus here is to not let it get too out of hand. Be that little bit of a helicopter parent, right above it, seeing it happen. Adjust it right after you see it. Just here for 4. For 3. Slow, slow breathing. Last 2. Last 1. Pull elbows down by your side, squeeze them in, and then let your arms touch the ground and let your shoulders relax. This time roll to one side, whichever side suits you best, so you can move your roll out from under your spine. And then come to lying flat on the ground. Whew, buddy. It feels like I sank into a sand trap. Everything's just sinking. Let your muscles relax for this moment. Try not to control anything. Try to open up to spatial awareness. The silent observer that just sees things happen. Now reach your hands down alongside your hips and pull your right knee in towards your chest. Just using the strength of your leg to start. And just move it gently side to side. Keep your right toes flexed. And just see what grips, what doesn't grip, how far you can go to one side or to the other without your hips lifting way off the ground. And then come through to center. Grab the front of your thigh, front of your shin, and pull your knee towards your shoulder. We're going to try to bypass your ribs here, so pull it out to the side. Half wind relieving pose. As you continue breathing here, see how much you can stay maintained and focused on that kumbhaka breath. So even when things get a little more familiar or a little easier, less intense, can you add the intensity by adding it to your breath? From here, half happy baby, reach and grab the outside of your right foot by reaching inside of your leg, and then drive your foot to the ceiling and pull your knee down. Just took a fairly intense class yesterday with Francesca, and man, are my legs sore. It wasn't much of a flow class, it was more of a set sequence class, so holding poses longer than we typically do flow. Definitely feeling it today. So this is a little challenging, but I'm feeling it. 2 more breaths. Bend your leg, grab your right knee with your left hand, and then supine twist. Pull over towards the left. Maintain the connection of right shoulder to the ground. In fact, hold that connection there. Can you take that same squeeze of your shoulders to press your right shoulder down. Let your left shoulder soften, and then breathe so deep into your belly that it expands past the line of your ribs. And then exhale, deepen into your twist. Do that again. Fill up to stretch out a little more. Exhale, take up that space. One more. Inhale back through to center. Switch out your legs. Arms down to the ground. Pull your left knee in with just the strength of your leg to start. Again, a little movement left and right. Man, that is tight. Glutes are feeling it. If you were running yesterday, maybe you're feeling like I'm feeling it too. When it feels good, grab your knee. Pull it towards the side. Half wind relieving pose. Again, not try to touch your ribs. Bypass your ribs. Pull it out to the side without letting your right hip lift off the ground, giving yourself a false sense of space being made. Keep your hips to the ground. And how far can you actually stretch a rubber band? If you start to pull to the left and you follow it to the left with your right, it's not going to work that well. It's going to maintain the same depth. Hold part stationary. Then half happy baby when you're ready. Inside of your left leg or the outside of your foot, pull it towards the ground. Knee to the ground. Drive your foot in resistance up to the seat. And as your right hip lifting off the ground, it feels a lot deeper. Keep it connected. Now try that stretch again. Last full breath. Bend your leg, grab at your knee with your right hand. Supine twist towards the right. Left shoulder stays down. You can hold that point of contact and then twist from there. And oh man, I even did a class earlier today. Feeling it. 2 more rounds of breath, each one. Breathe in, I am. On your breath out, repeat here. Do it again, inhale, I am. Exhale here. One more, in. Out. Back there to center. Hug your knees to your chest. Start to rock and roll up the length of your spine. After a couple times, and if it feels good, roll up to a seat. Take a moment in a boat pose setup. So, soles of your feet to the ground, knees bent. Grab behind your thighs. Now, grip your thighs tight. Squeeze your shoulders together. So in that same pinching sensation you're trying to do with your roll, do that here. Pull your chest through your arms. Do that squeeze. Now lean back. When you feel your abdominals catch, you may feel your feet try to lift. You're in boat pose. From there, try extending one leg, maybe both. If legs are extended, you're feeling good. We're going to release one hand. Legs stay like they are. Maybe release both hands. Feeling good here, you want to go further. Reach your hands up a little higher. Stretch your legs a little straighter. Maybe point your toes. Lift your chest. Try to bring your heart up to the middle of your thumbs. For 2. Last one. Lower your feet to the ground. Breathe in. Keep your arms lifted. Exhale. Fold over your legs. Ooh, buddy. Let your forehead relax towards your knees. And then let yourself get passive here for 2 rounds of breath. All right, let's floss out some tension through movement. Take your hands about 6 inches or so behind your hips, outside of your hips, and then bend your knees, bring your feet in about 1.5 feet between your hips. A lot of space there. All right, now from there, press into your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips. You're in a reverse tabletop. This is on your exhale. On your inhale, lower your hips down, press through your hands, stay on your heels, but drive your hips back, straighten your legs, press the ground away with your arms. All right, let's take that back. Inhale, forward. This time on your exhale, send your hips back. Press the ground. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time through. Inhale. Exhale. Hold here. Lift one foot. Lift the other foot, breathe in. Both feet down, both hips down. Whoo, buddy. Swing your legs to the side. Let's meet in a tabletop. Yeah. If your hip flexors turned on there, I bet they did. Mine did as well. Let's open them back up through movement. From tabletop, slow kumbhaka cat-cows. So inhale, lower your belly, pull forward. Stay for a moment of grace in between. Exhale, cat pose. Hold before you take another breath in. Scan your body. Inhale, cow. Hold. Exhale, cat. Hold. 3 more rounds. Your breath, your movement. If this gets a little wilder, rotate, swivel, wiggle. Stay with that same focus of breath. Maybe adding in the mantra, I am, on your inhales. Here on your exhales. After your third final round, come back to a neutral tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your knees off the ground. Now find cat pose in your spine again. Knees will stay hovering off the ground. Squeeze your thighs together, squeeze your ankles together, squeeze your thumbs together. Press the ground, round your spine. Knees stay hovering about 1 inch or 3 above the ground. Breathe for 2. For 1. Take a breath in. Exhale, down dog. Straighten your legs to press your hips up and back. Now work with bent knees to start. Assume that your body needs a little time to warm up. With bent knees, press more into your hands. Spin your biceps like you're going to brush them past your ears as you spin them to the ceiling. And then drive into your hands, stretch out your shoulders, your middle, your upper back, and your legs. As you find space, begin to straighten your legs. See what space that you can now make being a little more forceful through your poses, a little more purposeful in your movements. Once again, take a bend in your knees. Lift your heels off the ground and then stack them on top of your toes. So as if you slid a wall up against the soles of your feet. Your toes are bent. Lower your knees to the ground. Press your hips back towards your heels. Hover your knees 1 inch. Turbo dog. Same thing here. Breathe for 3. Press the ground away. Lengthen your spine for 2. Last 1. Inhale, look forward. On your exhale, step to the top of your mat to a forward fold. Let your hands rest on the ground, palms face up. Let your head get heavy. And think about the tension you've created so far, the movements and the way you've reacted mentally to them. I want you to let those mental reactions start to drip and fall out of the top of your head. Give it a shake, yes and no. As if it's a container of honey. You're trying to get the very last bit out. Let it hang there. All of it dripping down towards your hands and then melting and disappearing into your mat. Allow your movements to come from a place of love, from mindfulness, from care for yourself. Let your hands on the ground flat, bend your knees, and then slide up to stand. Take it slow to start. And again, you're bent for a while. Let the blood release slowly from your head. And once back at the top of your mat, take it to a mountain pose. Reach up. Take a breath in. On your exhale, Samasthiti, bring your hands to your heart. Press your thumbs into your heart. Lift your heart right back up into your thumbs. Now we're going to take a little different than normal. Take a breath in, reach your arms up. On your exhale, swing your arms behind you, bend your knees, and then work to parallel your chest towards the ground. So bend your legs, send your hips back. Work to find the swan dive forward. So again, not rounding through your spine, flat through your spine. So tailbone back, knees stay on top of your ankles, and again, not further forward, nice and stacked back. Just reverse or the swan dive. Take a breath in, and then exhale, completely release it down. Halfway lift, breathe in. Keep that bend in your legs to start. Lift through the back of your spine. Again, not rounded like you feel your belly's pulling up to around the middle. I want you to pull your chest forward. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. Let's take a reverse swan dive. So reach your hands behind you. Keep that bend in your legs, the flatness through your spine. Inhale, reach up. Turn your palms to face one another as you extend to the ceiling. Exhale, Samastahiti, hands to your heart. So let's try that again. I'll stay to the side so you can see. Reach up to mountain, breathe in. Exhale, swan dive. Arms extend behind you, bend your legs, lean forward, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Let's try that again. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms behind you, extend up, palms face one another as you rotate all the way through your shoulders. Exhale, Samastahiti, hands to your heart. Add in Kumbhaka breathing. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, swan dive. Hold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hold. And fold. Inhale. All the way up, reverse swan dive. Reach up, hold. Exhale, Samastahiti. Hold. Do one more time. Inhale, reach up. Hold. Exhale, swan dive. Hold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hold. Exhale, fold. Hold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Hold. Exhale, Samastahiti. Hold. Last time, reach up, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. This time, halfway lift, inhale. High plank, exhale. Now shift forward, shoulders past your wrist. Exhale, chaturanga halfway down or less. So your chaturanga can be a barely bent arm as long as your elbows stay on top of your wrist. Inhale to upward facing dog, hold here. Now revisit that squeeze of your shoulders when you're trying to open up. Squeeze them together, try to pinch them together to pull your heart forward. In that counter rotation. Press through the tops of your feet. One more round of breath here. Take an inhale. Exhale, down dog. Tuck your toes or maybe roll over the top of your toes to press back. All right, again, inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step forward. Top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Inhale to mountain pose. Exhale, Samastahiti. All right, inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's reverse it. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, Samastahiti. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, different. Exhale, high plank. Shift forward on your breath in. Chaturanga on your breath out. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck or roll over your toes. One breath in. One breath out. Again, inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step or float forward. Last time through, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's take your reverse swan dive. Inhale, reverse your swan dive up. Exhale, Samastahiti. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive down. Halfway lift, breathe in. High plank, breathe out. Shift forward, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Maybe your lowest one yet. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. All right, lift your right leg up high, breathe in. Squeeze your knee to your nose, hold here, look to your thumbs, and then gently step your foot through. Try to step it through silently. If you have to use your hand to support it forward, all good. From there, take your right hand inside of your right leg, roll your left heel down. We'll take a side angle, left arm up. Now, once again, revisit that squeeze of your shoulders. Just got a back pop from that squeeze, so showing that there's more twist that can happen if you activate your shoulders. Use those as a counter engagement to stretch out your very strong, most likely very straight, very tight chest. Sitting forward is going to activate your chest, make them stronger, and it's going to therefore weaken your back muscles, especially if you don't work to keep them strong. Take one more breath in, squeeze your shoulders together. Exhale, both hands inside of your right leg. Lift back onto your left tiptoes. Reach your right hand forward. Now lower your hips in line with your shoulders. So you've got this runner's lunge, as if you're about to lift your left leg off the ground. There's a lot of weight in your right leg. Take a breath in. Exhale, both hands down to the ground. High plank. Inhale, step back. Down dog. Hips up and back. Breath in. Breath out. Left leg high. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold. Look to your hands and then step through slow, silent with control. Left hand inside of your left leg. Rotate your right heel down. Once you rotate it down, left heel is intersecting the middle of your back arch. So line that up first, then open up. And press your feet powerfully away. One to the front, left forward. Press your right foot back. Squeeze your elbows together. Open up your heart. Two more rounds. Squeeze your shoulders on your back, inhale. Exhale, both hands down to the ground. Once again, roll onto your right tiptoes, right heel lifts. Lengthen your left hand forward. So again, powerful through your hands. Try to extend past the line of your base. Breathe in. Exhale, left hand down to the ground. Step back to high plank, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Lower your shins to the ground. Drop your hips back to heels, child's pose. Just for a round of breath. Right your hands to the ground, walk them back towards your legs, knees out wide, big toes stay to touch. Plant your hands behind your hips, drive them into the ground to lift. Find a front body stretch. Now you guessed it, squeeze your shoulders together. Press the ground with your arms, and then drive down with your knees and with the tops of your feet. Use that to extend more through your front line. And the front line of your body is most likely going to be the tightest and the strongest part of your body. Take one more breath in. Exhale, fold. Come up to a seat on your shins, hands to your heart. Take a moment to breathe. So your chest and your abdominals. Think about when you're rounded forward. All that's engaged. Abdominals pull you down. Your chest pulls you down and in. Gotta stretch out your chest. And by doing that, you also need to strengthen your back line so it's strong enough to counter that. We're out of breath. Hands to the ground, knees down, and then downward facing dog. Take your right leg high, inhale. This time on your exhale, runner's lunge, step your right foot outside of your right hand. Take your right hand up to the ceiling, open up. And same thing here, so it's a little bit deeper. Press powerfully through your left hand. Ensure your shoulder here is not taking too much of the work by spinning your left bicep, your left elbow pit forward. It'll help turn on your triceps, and it'll also help naturally rotate your shoulder to support you to lift. Right hand stays, or shoulder rather, stays above your left. Rather than reaching behind you and overextending, keep everything stacked and lifted up. 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale. Exhale, both hands back down to the ground. 3-legged dog, send your right leg high. This time bend your legs, stack your hips. And this one we're taking circles. Draw circles one direction. And then draw them the other direction. Back to 3-legged dog, right leg straight. On your exhale, squeeze your knee to nose. And inhale back high. Exhale, down dog. Left leg high, breathe in. Runner's lunge, breathe out, step outside of your left hand. And powerful through your hands, powerful through your feet, excuse me, Skiba. Then reach your left hand up, thank you. Rude. Squeeze your thighs together, press your feet down, press your right hand down. You can spin your right bicep forward. And notice if you're over twisting, it can feel like you're getting more space. And again, it's a little bit of false sense of security. Putting undue pressure where it doesn't need to be. Keep it long. Keep your neck long as well, whether that means you look down to the ground, which is okay. You can look up, which is okay. Or you can look towards the side of your mat, just without letting your head dip. Everything stays straight. Breath in. Exhale, both hands down to the ground. Three-legged dog, left leg high. Breathe in. Bend your legs, stack your hips. Draw circles. And then reverse them. Back to three-legged dog, inhale. Knee to your nose, squeeze and shift forward. Inhale back to three-leg. Exhale, down dog. Shift forward to high plank, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Clean the slate. Full breath in. Full breath out. All right, inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or float to the top of your mat. High, halfway lift rather, inhale. Fold, exhale. And chair pose is where we meet. You're going to take your chair, and we're going to make that same shape and call it, we'll skip that. We'll skip the name. Take a breath in here. On your exhale, airplane your arms. So like you were before, like a swan dive. Swing your arms back, lean your chest forward. So this can be where you stop here. Chair plane, we'll call it. On an inhale, reach back up to chair. This time on your exhale, take to your airplane arms. And this time lift your heels off the ground. Squeeze your knees together. Drinking bird. On your next inhale, touch your heels to the ground, reach back up. Again, exhale, airplane your arms for chair plane, or maybe lift your heels off the ground, squeeze your ankles together for drinking bird. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one with Kumbhaka breath. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale, chair pose, straighten your legs, reach your arms up, straight arm back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. And then low lunge, step your left foot back. From here, left heel to the ground, warrior 2 this time. So same setup with your legs when you had side angle. Now your arms are lifted up. And then we're going to get movement here as well. So arms out to a T. Press your arms down so your shoulders engage and they're holding everything down. So press down without your arms getting low. So it's an isometric hold. Nothing moves. Flip to palms to face the ceiling. On your inhale, straighten your right leg and then palms touch above your head. Squeeze your thighs together. If you want this further, flex your right toes off the ground. But again, keep the squeeze of your thighs in together. So this is your exhale. On your inhale, open back up. Exhale. Straighten your legs, palms touch. So do that 5 times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, reach back to warrior 2. Reverse your warrior on a breath in. Extended side angle on a breath out. Right hand down, left arm reaches up with an option to take it forward to frame your ear. So notice when it goes forward that it's not going behind your head. You are trying to open up your shoulders, but without your shoulders overstacking. So left shoulder doesn't go behind your right shoulder twists to stay underneath your left the entire time. Your arms are straight and strong. 2 more rounds of breath. And inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach your right hand up. Keep the bend in your front leg. Inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Both hands to the ground. Standing splits. Lift your left leg up high. And work a bend into your right leg to start. Flex your left toes to your face. Rotate your left outer hip down, your left pinky toes down so it's in line with your right. Now try to straighten your right leg again. Take a breath here. Exhale, forward fold, feet together. Halfway lift, breathe in. Low lunge, right foot steps back. Right heel down. Set up warrior two legs. Open up. Y'all, the sweat is real. All right, you have warrior two. If you didn't like that warrior we went earlier, leave it. If you're ready for movement, I would suggest it. Inhale, straighten your left leg, palms touch, maybe lift onto your left heel. Squeeze your thighs together. Exhale, warrior two. Do that again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. 5 times. Take it away. In. Out. In. Out. Get that squeeze of your thighs together 3 more times. Warrior two all together. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. That might have been an extra reverse warrior. I don't remember doing that the first time, but we're here anyway. Right, inhale, be here. Exhale now. Arms extend up. Work your left thigh parallel to the ground, so you point your tailbone back towards your right foot. Lengthen your right hip as well. And then work the twist in your body, maybe the extension of your right arm forward, still framing your ear. 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And still bend into your front leg. Drive down through your foot even though it's still bent. So drive it without it straightening. It's an isometric engagement. Last inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Standing splits, float your right leg. Same thing here. Bend your left leg slightly. Flex your right toes towards you. Turn your right pinky toe down, your right outer hip down. Then lengthen your left leg. Press it straight. And breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Right, inhale to a mountain pose. Get tall, reach up, straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Exhale, Samastahiti. Draw your hands to your heart and close your eyes. Take 3 rounds of breath. Acknowledge your practice so far. What's changed? What is there? What's no longer there? Full breath in. Full breath out. From there, open your eyes. Inhale, reach your arms back up. Find extension. Lift up onto your tiptoes. Bend your knees and then slowly come down to a squat. Drop your hips to your heels to a ball pose. So hips towards your heels. You can squeeze your arms and your legs in together. And keep one hand on the ground for support. Round your forehead towards your knees. Let your spine get this long, rounded shape. Last breath. Take both hands to the ground. Send one leg back and then the other. Now walk your knees to the back of your mat and then come to lying on your belly. So we're going to get more of a chest stretch here. And again, we are stretching out, working through the shoulders, but like we said, your chest is an antagonist to your shoulders and vice versa. So if one is over strong, it's going to cause problems for the other. So we'll help your shoulders here by stretching your chest. Now, if your arm is straight out to a T or out, wrist in line with your shoulder, that's going to get more shoulder stretch. If you want more chest stretch, bend your elbow. So arm is at a 90 degrees, shoulder and elbow are in line, elbow and wrist are in line. So you got that shape here. Take your left cheek to the ground, left leg straight, kick your right heel to your glute, press into your right hand to roll onto your left shoulder. Left chest, left elbow. Okay, this can be stopping point number 1. Stopping point number 2, reach your right hand up to the ceiling, straight up to start. So palm up, flat, like you're about to catch a high five. If you want to go further, start to squeeze your shoulders slightly together, try to bring the back of your hand towards the ground. Now if you have your left arm straight, this can be more accessible. And shoulders are a little more, have a little bit more mobility than your chest typically. So you may find that space. If your elbow's bent, this may be strenuous, just trying to squeeze together. Again, that isometric hold, that activation, and the calmness of your breath sends signals to your brain that this isn't dangerous, that it's an okay place to be, and that there's no need for your brain to send signals to tighten back up. Breath in. Exhale, come back through to center. Bring your opposite cheek to the ground and then take your arms alongside your hips for a moment. Let them relax. You can wiggle your hips side to side. Maybe wiggle your fingers, bring some fresh blood back to your left hand. And then on your time, when you're ready, take it to your right side. Arm to a T or to a goalpost. Kick your left heel to glute. Roll towards the right. And same thing. This can be a stopping point. Left hand down for support. Go further, stretch it out straight. And extend it up. And again, the goal here isn't to squeeze and like swing your left shoulder way behind your right. It's to stack it on top of with strength to start and then activate. Slowly, methodically finding space. Millimeters of space at a time. Maybe no space, but thorough engagement. Two more rounds. Last breath in. Exhale, release back down. Roll back to center. Take your opposite cheek to the mat, arms alongside your hips. Wiggle left and right, reset. And take your arms out in front of you. Get a little bit of a stretch. You can keep your cheek to one side, maybe to the other. All right. From there, bring it back to center. Knees to the ground, flip to the tops of your feet. Press up to standing on your knees. Ooh, set up for camel pose. I'm grabbing a block because I love blocking camel pose. If you don't have a block or don't feel like you need one, skip it. If you do have it, bring it up as far up to your pelvic floor as it'll go, all the way up. Make contact. Squeeze your thighs together. Hold it there. Take your hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows and your shoulders together. Notice the theme here. Drive your hips forward and walk your gaze up the ceiling. Keep lengthening and lifting your chin, lifting your chest, squeezing your shoulders together. Find a stopping point that you can continue strong, deep breathing. If this takes your breath away, come back up until you can regain that same depth of breath. Just for 3. If you want to go further, extend both arms at the same time to try to find your ankles. If that doesn't work, bring them back. Support yourself. Last full breath. Inhale back up to center. Lower down into a seat. We're going to take modified hero's pose. So a block underneath your sit bones, underneath your, or on top of your heels, maybe even a blanket as well. It doesn't have to be your block. Something to lift up so there's no pain in your knees. And if you can do this with no pain in your knees, take it away. Come down to a seat. Close your eyes. Acknowledge all the work that you've done. Acknowledge that even though it may have been more than you've done in that specific way for that specific part, that it's a journey and that there's always more to be done. More space to be found, more new ways, new methods to adopt. Let a smile come to your face. Let that Almost endless possibilities of discovery. You're ready, open your eyes, swing your legs out to the side, out in front of you, and then take your left leg up straight. Take your right leg, cross it over your left, bend your left leg, and then bring your heel toward your right glute. You're going to cross your body. And then take your right foot outside of your left, foot flat against the ground, but also right hip on the ground too. So adjust that you need to make that happen. Maybe walking your left foot further out from your hip gives you that space. And everything done. So take here, grab your right knee with your left arm, squeeze it towards your chest to start. Reach your right hand up to the ceiling. Breathe in. And then exhale, open it to the right, but keep it extended behind you. So you're squeezing elbow, right knee in towards your left shoulder, but reaching your right hand back. Take an inhale. Exhale, hand to the ground. All right, last addition. Inhale, lift up your spine so you got a straight posture. Exhale, twist. Right shoulder towards the back. Hug your right knee in. 3 rounds. Inhale back to center. Reach both arms up. Exhale, let them touch the ground. Unravel your legs. Set them straight in front of you for a moment. Give them a shake. Wiggle left and right. And then other side. Left leg over your right to start. Bend your right leg. Squeeze it towards your glute. Left foot flat on the ground. And again, both sit bones connected. So adjust how that needs. Left foot flat. Take your right hand, right arm rather, hug left knee into shoulder. So you may already feel a stretch in your glute. Good stuff. Take a breath in, lift your left arm up. Exhale, swing it open towards the left. Hold here for a full round of breath. And still hugging in, spreading your left fingers wide, and trying to bring the back of your hand more towards the back of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, left hand to the ground. Breathe in, lift up your spine, straighten your posture. Exhale, hug knee to chest and twist. 3 rounds of breath here. Back through to center, unravel your legs. One more time, straight in front of you, give them a shake. Flex your toes, breathe in, reach up. On your exhale, flat spine, straight arms, hinge forward. Legs straight, arms straight, spine straight. Breathe in. Exhale, hinge a little further. Still straight. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, hinge further, stay for your breath in. And then exhale, relax just your arms down. Then let your forehead relax down. Round into it, begin to soften. Your jaw soften, let your tongue soften. And let your thoughts soften as they follow along. Inhale up through the center and then lower all the way onto your back. Pull your knees into chest, bridge or wheel pose. You get to choose. Bridge, lift your hips off the ground. Wheel pose, bring your hands by your ears, palms flat, fingers point towards your feet. And then press yourself up. I'm going to save that. Actually, you know what? I'm doing it today. Wheel pose. Hips lift off the ground. Squeeze your arms in together. Squeeze your legs in together. And then press them equally down in an opposite direction. So press your feet forward. Resist with your hands. Let your head relax towards the ground. Soften through your neck. 2 more rounds of breath. You've got this. Lift up to your tiptoes, breathe in. Lower to your back. Slow and controlled. Head touches and then unravel your spine until your tailbone touches. Hug knees to chest, breathe in. Happy baby, final pose of class. We're combining that half happy baby we took earlier. Pull your knees down, press your feet up, and then compress your low back. Unravel your tailbone to the mat. If it feels like it's not unraveling, but you're holding tension and you're finding a shake, it's strenuous, keep that going. That activation, that intention, that isometric hold is where you'll find that space. Again, showing your brain it's okay to have this tension. There's no need to over-constrict or tighten up to save face. Allow it to be here strong and calm. bend your legs, hug your knees into your chest. One more time, round your forehead towards your knees. Squeeze in, make yourself into a tiny ball. Thank yourself for your practice, for holding yourself up to this standard. One more big breath in, find a shake. Exhale, Shavasana. Release out, extend your legs long. And if you want to take that roll along your spine, just like you did before, for your Shavasana, feel free, or take it lengthwise across your shoulders. And get the same release of your chest lifting up so it can stretch out. Make this about you. Set up somewhere that you can stay for at least a full minute and a half of stillness, breathing, and reflection. Nothing more. Regain control of your breath. Begin to expand more through your belly, through your ribs. You tend to find so much expansion. You can send your breath all the way down to your toes, all the way down to your fingertips. From there, start to move your fingers and your toes. Awaken them. Wiggle left and right. If you have a bolster under your back, gently roll to one side, press it out of the way. Come to lying back down without that support. And take a moment just to let yourself become again compressed into a flat surface. See what that feels like compared to how you started. Draw your knees to your chest. Yogi's choice. Roll to one side. Fetal pose. Just long enough to press yourself up to a seat. Bring your hands to your heart. Thumbs to the center of your chest. And recognizing that light, love, student, teacher resides in each of us. Take a thumbs to your third eye, center of intuition. On a breath in, lift your thumbs, lift your forehead to the ceiling. As we exhale, we bow and share the words. Namaste. Hope that offered you some release, yogis. Love getting a request. This wasn't necessarily a request, but these are things that help build these classes up. So if you have something that you're working on, something that typically gives you pain or tightness, discomfort, let us know. Reach out to me on Instagram here at JaredPose, or any of the other teachers that you typically like to go to. To that, this is the last week that we'll be posting here on YouTube. Next week, we'll start posting them, doing our live classes through MBO. So the same app that you would sign in if you're going into the studios is going to be the same one that you'd sign into for the live streaming classes. So it'll work the same. The donations are going to work the same. You send us your donation should you choose to do that, and that 100% goes to the teachers teaching that. I think that's it. I'll see you here tomorrow at 6. Request anything that you'd like to see. It was a pleasure and an honor. Thank you so much, yogis, and until next time, namaste.